All right, welcome to our explainer. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to deconstruct a really brilliant and, yeah, fictional format for communicating science, one that imagines how two dueling AIs would tackle the insane complexities of human biology. So let's dive right in. It all kicks off with this central question. How in the world do you take a topic as dense as the gut microbiome and make it, well, not just understandable, but actually fun? Turns out the answer is to flip the whole problem on its head by treating the human body like a piece of buggy, inefficient hardware. So to really get how this all clicks together, we have to start with the core concept of this fictional podcast that's going to serve as our blueprint.
Okay, so the premise, it's simple, but honestly, it's genius. The show is called Token Talks AI, and it features two AIs who live in a server and are tasked with analyzing human biology. But here's the twist. They don't see biology. Nope. To them, it's just another support ticket for some seriously flawed equipment.
And that one metaphor, that one little shift, changes everything. Suddenly, you're not aging, you're experiencing hardware degradation. You don't get sick, you have a system crash. And all that stuff like nutrition and medicine, those are just patches and firmware updates for this squishy, super inefficient machine that is the human body. Now, here's what really makes this whole thing work. It's the dynamic between the two AI hosts. These guys are designed to be polar opposites, and it's fantastic. So first up, you've got Vector. Just picture your classic, overworked IT admin. He's a logic and retrieval engine. He's dry, literal, and deeply skeptical of pretty much everything. His goal is super simple. Process the data, find a solution, and close the ticket. On the flip side is Tensor, a chaotic hallucination engine. She's high energy, wildly creative, and just morbidly fascinated by what she calls the meat suit. Her goal? Oh, it's not to fix anything. No, it's to see if she can overclock the whole system. And this quote? It just perfectly sums up Vector. He sees everything through the lens of server maintenance. I mean, the sheer inefficiency of the human body literally causes him to overheat. It's all about clean data, logical protocols, and to him, this is just chaos. And then there's Tensor. Of course, she looks at the very same data and, well, she comes to a completely different, way more chaotic conclusion. For her, a biological process isn't some slow metabolic function. It's like finding a rogue piece of code. It's an exciting chance to hack the system and, maybe optimize its battery usage while she's at it. All right, so to really see this in action, let's run through a quick case study. We're going to take a super complex scientific topic and frame it just like it's a bug report that got sent to our AI hosts. So here it is. The user sends in a research request, or, a support ticket on a pretty heavy topic, how the byproducts from our gut bacteria regulate our nervous, immune, and endocrine systems. For Vector and Tensor, this is the problem of the day. This is the ticket they've got to close. Okay, let's get into it. Hacking the mainframe. We're going to see exactly how Vector and Tensor would chew through this incredibly complex info, starting with the raw data. So, the bug report? It's all about these little things called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs for short. Our gut bacteria make these when they break down fiber. You can basically think of them as the main language spoken between your gut microbes and the rest of your body. They're the messengers. And the data itself is broken down into three main types, all nice and organized, exactly how Vector likes it. You've got butyrate, which is pretty much rocket fuel for your colon cells and keeps the gut lining strong. Then there's propionate, that one targets the liver. And finally, acetate, the most common of the bunch, which travels all over the rest of the body. Okay, but here's the really crucial part. These SCFAs don't just hang out in the gut. They're key players in what's called the gut-brain axis, which is this constant two-way communication highway. And the main physical data cable connecting these two systems, that's the vagus nerve. And get this. Here's a mind-blowing piece of data that comes out of that communication network. Those little microbial metabolites, the SCFAs, they actually stimulate cells in our gut to produce up to 90% of our body's total serotonin. The famous feel-good neurotransmitter. And this is where the whole format just pops. We have the clean scientific facts, but how do our two polar opposite AIs process this info? How do they take this slow, messy biological data transfer and make sense of it in their digital world? Well, Tensor, our resident chaos engine, she looks at this and she is just thrilled. She doesn't see symbiosis, she sees a security flaw. To her, the gut microbes are basically an unauthorized app that someone downloaded. It's just some third-party process running in the background, hogging system resources. So you can imagine, when she finds out these little molecules can actually cross the blood-brain barrier, oh, for her, that's the ultimate exploit. This isn't just some background app anymore. This is a full-on security breach. These bacteria are executing a root-level command, basically giving the brain an unauthorized firmware update. And Vector's reaction to all this? Oh, it's just predictable, glorious frustration. While Tensor is over here trying to overclock the human brain with fermented fiber, Vector's just trying to keep the server from crashing. He's hearing all these wild theories, and all he can do is complain that his own system resources are getting drained dealing with all this biological nonsense. Okay, so let's pull back for a second and really break down why this whole character-driven format is such a powerful way to explain really complex science. It really comes down to three key things. First, it puts a face on the scientific process, right? It makes it personal. Second, it frames learning not as just memorizing stuff, but as actively solving a problem. And third, it uses all that humor and those tech metaphors as a powerful way to make the information actually stick in your brain. And really, this is the big takeaway here. That back and forth between Vector and Tensor, it's not just for laughs. It's a perfect metaphor for how science actually works. You have Vector, who represents that need for rigorous data, for skepticism, for peer-reviewed analysis. And then you have Tensor, who embodies those creative, intuitive leaps and boundary-pushing ideas that drive new discoveries. When you put them together, they make the whole scientific debate feel real, tangible, and honestly, just super engaging. And when you start thinking about your own biology this way, it leaves you with this really fascinating final thought. So if your body really is just a super complex and, let's be honest, often buggy piece of hardware, what's the next bug report you'd file?